Welcome back, folks, to another episode. Prado 150 out of here. As you know, we're on this absolutely amazing trip around the southwest of WA, accompanied by Ruben and his crew from DMW Industries, which are also around the corner from me in Toowoomba. But what I want to do today, we're just in Dunsborough. We're just relaxing at a camping site before all the action starts again tomorrow, and we're going to hit some four-wheel drive tracks, but you'll have to watch other videos and see where we go on that one. But what I'm going to be doing today is, I suppose for want of a better way of saying it, just a updated rig rundown. So as you know, in the background here is the Jayco Crosstrak, which is absolutely performing remarkably, better than I thought it would be actually. And of course my Prado, the 150 Prado in the background there too, which is just over here, not in view, but I'll show you in a minute. So I just wanted to show you, I'll give you an update on what I've got in the Prado, and then a quick rundown on the Jayco, and how, particularly on this type of a trip, how we combine them both to have absolutely wonderful camping experience. So I don't have my kids, they've gone back to Brisbane now, or back to Toowoomba, but I do have my brother, and when they were here, they reckon I was living in a palace, and I was a king in the palace, because the Jayco's got hot water, shower, toilet, cooking, air conditioning if I want it. It's got the iTech World's 3000 watt inverter, so it is a bit like living in a palace, I suppose. But anyway, let me just take you around. Firstly, we'll just do a quick run through on the Prado, and we're going to have a look, eh? So I'll just give you a quick run around of our camping setup here, and then we'll go through some of the bits. Yep, and there's the dent from the kangaroo and the Jayco. We're leaving it hooked up today. You can spy in there. That's where I've got the inverter, just all protected under that plate from iTech World. And yeah, there's our Jayco, and just around the back here, a bit more of the Jayco, and obviously the awning. And I think one of the good points about this particular Jayco Crosstrak, because I know the new models have changed, is this outdoor kitchen, which is great. I think the new ones have a slide-out kitchen there. I mean, I don't know personally what it's like, but I have seen comments where I think people prefer this type of setup. It does duck into inside, but I haven't found it a problem. And for two people, this is actually the perfect fit for the Prado. So let's have a look at the Prado and go through some things. So we'll start with under the bonnet, what I've got running under there. It'll give me a chance to double check my water and oil and make sure everything's all right. She's been running, she's pretty hot in there at the moment, so I won't be taking any caps off or anything, but I'll just show you what's under the bonnet. Right guys, so as you know, we're just running the iTech World's 120X Pro battery in here, lithium battery, and I have to say it is absolutely working a treat. Absolutely love it. Yes, let's be honest here, so it gets very hot. I'll just stand where you can see me. It does get very hot under the bonnet. The ideal perfect place for any lithium battery, including iTech World, is in the vehicle. Okay, so if you've got room in the back of the vehicle, then you should put it in there. However though, with my setup, I still wanted my 3 seats at the back available for the kids, and I needed a bit of room in the back too, just for run-of-the-mill stuff at home, because we still use this as a run-around vehicle at home. Not too much, but a little bit. So I wanted to use the perfect place under the bonnet, which is there, you know, to put it in, and which I've done. But the iTech World battery, the battery management system on the battery, 100% does its job. And what I've been finding, especially on these longer trips, is that, you know, you use the batteries at night, and if you're parked up and the solar comes out, yep, she's pumping in the charge. But if you know, when you start the car up to go to your next campsite or wherever you're going to go, she's pumping in, you know, your 40 amp hours there into that iTech World battery, and she's 100% in no time. What I do notice as we're driving during the day is it just stops the charging. It just, it's like it's a trickle charge. So you get the, you know, it's 99% or 98%. You might rock up to camp and it's 98%. But what it's doing is, because it's getting so hot under there, is that the battery management system of the iTech World is doing its job, slowing down the charge and protecting the battery from, you know, from the heat. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you want, because you don't want these things catching on fire, because, you know, goodbye car, goodbye Jayco Crosstrak, and probably anything that's around, because you can't put them out, as you know. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. But that's how this one's working. The batteries in the caravan, they're not Jayco. Sorry, they're not iTech World. They came from Jayco. They're a brand called Sphere. I've done a bit of a research on them. They've got some good reviews. I don't know much about them, but what I'm finding, yeah, they just charge all the time from the car, because they're not getting hot from the bonnet. So let's go back in here. There's not much else to kind of report on under the bonnet, except that it does have a brand new fuel pump, as you know, and it does have a new oil pump, and it does have. Just make sure that's tightened up. That's my mess when I did the last oil change there, as you can see. But and it does have a new water pump. It's got a new viscous fan. I've upgraded it so that it comes on, or it's more powerful, I suppose, or it comes on earlier, so you can hear it going quite often. It's doing its job, because now I'm running temperatures between 81 and 81 to 86, generally cruising just down the road with the van on the back. I'm seeing temperatures of about 85, 84, and if you start going up a hill or having to, you know, get a bit of right foot going, you might see 90 come out of it. I've seen 91. Again, I can't be more happy with that. Before that, I was seeing, quite often I'd see 100, 102, 103 going up the range at Toowoomba there. Which really worried me. I saw 106 for a bit, but as soon as you got to the top, she dropped down. So I'm not seeing that anymore. So that I'm more than happy with that, and I've done probably 6,000 to 7,000 k's since all that got done. So yeah, that's pretty much it for under the bonnet. All the injectors, as you know, have been done. If you want a bit of an update on what happened with all of that stuff, just check out my other videos on my channel, and I go through with Dan doing the injectors, and then obviously finding that issue with the injector pump. So yep, bonnet done. Little things I've done. I've just got this here. That's my doing there for my fuses. One's for the light bar, and the other one is for the UHF radio. So what charges the iTech World battery? Well, I've got Red Arc here going, so I'll just show you that. Just in there, I don't know if you can see it. So she's on the solar at the moment. And look, I have not had any dramas at all with that Red Arc DC-DC charger. So it pumps in about 40 amp hours of power to recharge it, and I've got a 120 amp hour lithium battery, so if you do your maths, that won't take very long to, if you're on a long drive, to put it back to its full charge. What I like about the Red Arc, it's set and forget. Set it up with Dan when we first put it in. I have not had an issue since that day, and I can't be more happier. Look, my son Joshua, he is running the full iTech World system in his BT50, and that's working a treat too. So he's got the 25, I believe, amp hour DC-DC charger in his, and he's also got one of these batteries. It's not the Pro, it's just the standard one, which was mine prior to this one in here. So I gave that to him at he just gave me a couple $100 for it, so I could buy the updated one. But he's more than happy with his setup, and again, there's videos on that, on how we put that in. Joshua shows us how to put the battery management monitor in his vehicle and attach up the shunt and all that. So there we go. I think that's it for under the bonnet. I use a iDrive, and I've had a I would call it a moderate tune. Look, offhand I don't know what the figures were, but you know, everyone talks about braking pistons and all that kind of stuff. So my tune, which you can go back and have a look again, is specific to that vehicle. It's not specific to just a Prado, but the tune I got is a special program for this vehicle with its many kilometres and its readouts before the tune. So it goes on the dyno, we get the figures, I tell him what I want, said I was going to be towing a van, which I am now. I wanted some more torque, I didn't want crazy figures, I don't want to break anything, and they designed a program for that with those things in mind, and I can't be more happier with it. It's running right now, it's running like a dream, so I'm very happy with it. It's got plenty of power. I've actually dragged people off at the lights with the van attached. I think they don't think a Prado with a caravan is going to really do much, but yeah, there was one set of lights I remember in Perth, and I gave them a good run for their money anyway. So there we go. I'm just running. These are a present from the kids, so got the King spotlights there. They actually do a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy with them. I got the Ridge Rider winch. It's a heavy, the 12,000 pound one. Every now and again you got to give it a bit of a knock because it does its old clicking. It's pretty old. It's been in there for a long time. And as you can see, I've got the Iron Man bull bar, and again, very happy with that. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but I like the look of them, and I think it didn't help me with the Kangaroo, but it's certainly, I reckon it looks pretty good, and it's got the winch, it's compatible with the winch, and it's pretty solid, so I like it. I did have a one of those light bars on my bull bar, but guys, you probably know, I don't know if it's the same in all states, but in Queensland they're probably technically not quite right, or not quite legal as far as the old laws go with modifications and that. There's some, I'm probably telling you stuff you already know, but there's a bit of a law against people design the bull bars because they've got to be pedestrian friendly. Look, I can't make too much of a comment on that, but I think if someone gets hit by a bull bar, they're not very friendly as far as that goes, and so you can't put a light bar on the top. So I have got a new one, and I've put it up there on the roof rack, and I've got to say it does a awesome job. And the latest modification to my car is I've got the doors streamlined, as you can see. It's got a nice little ripple in it. Yeah, don't you like that? I don't think there's too many Prados that have that in it. But no, unfortunately, that's due to a Kangaroo that didn't want to stop, failed to give way to me, came out at night and smashed into there, and you wouldn't believe it, but it set off all that curtain airbag from here all the way back, and blew out my seat. Never seen anything like it, actually. It was quite a bit of a moment, actually, because I didn't know what had happened, because the bang of the Kangaroo and the airbag going off was just insane. And then, I didn't know. I had a few seconds and I didn't know what had actually happened. I felt the window. Yep, window was still there. And fortunately I had Lockie with me at the time. Car was fine. Everything else was fine. There was no lights on except for the airbag light. And anyway, if you want to find out what actually happened there, go and check out one of those other videos, because I go in detail about exactly what had happened. So yeah, that's in there until I get back to Toowoomba, and that's where I'm going to get it all sorted. So at the moment it's just a bit of cosmetic damage. There's no issues with the car, no things about it not being safe or anything like that, because I did get the airbags fixed up and a new seatbelt. So down here, folks, I have my rock sliders. I've had them on for quite some time, and it's been to different areas of the country. It's been up to Cape York, saved my vehicle a couple of times, and I got them because the standard Prado steps, as you know, I mean, who hasn't banana bent them when they've gone up over, a hill like this? So these are solid. They come from Southern Cross Fabrications. They're in Yatala, in Brisbane. If you want them for the Prado 150, you actually have to ring them and get them to make it for you. At the time, you could buy them online and you just do the drop down. Prado 150, the Prado 150, what year, blah blah blah. You'd order them online and they'd either deliver them to you or you could go down and pick them up. So look, again, I don't get anything for this product, but I am happy to say that these have been sold. The only thing, which is not their fault, is just the paint's coming off because I've scratched them all, and so there's a bit of rust underneath. Still a bit of sand on there from the beach and all that kind of stuff, which reminds me I need to get a hose and give it a good wash off. But yeah, very happy with these. I think it probably would have helped too with the Kangaroo. I don't know how it did, but I think it did because I don't know, if it's come in here or something and hit the sill, well then I would be in a bit more trouble. But yeah, it certainly saved the day. You can put a jack on them, a high lift jack on them, I've been told, and they just bolt underneath onto your chassis. They're very easy to install. Well, tyres. Let's go to the tyres. So the brand I run is Open Country. This is my second set of tyres, and they are the ARTs. So again, I'm not affiliated with these guys. It would be nice if I was, but let's just say they're not really interested in my little tiny YouTube channel. So it's saying something then that I'm happy to say to you guys that apart from that point, they're a damn good tyre. So these are the second set that I've had, and the first set I literally got 81 or 82,000 kilometres out of them before I had to get them changed. So I've gone up a size from the standard. So I've got 265 70s on the R17s, and they put my speedo absolutely perfect, in fact. But yeah, but as a tyre, on-road, off-road, perfect. There's not much noise on them. So they're like an in-between between your all-terrains and the mud terrain. And surprisingly, there's hardly any noticeable noise on them. They seem to be wearing pretty good. You just, like all tyres, you just have to rotate them, every 5,000 k's. It's a bit hard when you're out here, but yeah. So they got rotated before I left, and they'll probably get rotated when I get back. So look, I will say they're an outstanding tyre, and I would highly recommend them. The last set of tyres, can you believe I went to Cape York and did full on Cape York up there. I think I had they were fairly new then, and I came back, so I hadn't had a flat tyre not once the whole trip. Got back, drove from Toowoomba to Gatton, parked into a car park at a cafe, came back out from the cafe with Shelley, and the tyre was flat. And I'd run over a nail. So these things happen, but yeah, it's just funny that you've done this massive trip, gone to Cape York, all that stuff, came back, not a problem, you're in your local area, and you get a flat tyre. So there you go. So I'm not going to jinx myself, but I've driven all the way from Toowoomba to here, and all around the place, 6,000 k's, not an issue, and no flat tyres. They're pretty strong. You can let them down. It's your low PSI pressures, and they're pretty strong. They've got a good, pretty good, strong sidewall. So yeah, the only thing I'd say against them is that the price. They're pretty exy on the price. So I'll just stand where you can see me because I know the sun's right behind me and it's kind of the afternoon of the day. So yeah, got the review mirrors. No, they're just standard. But over here is the Bushwhacker Adventure or Bushwhacker awning, 270 awning. Now I got that from Bullies BT or Bullies Off-Road, at Toowoomba. And yes, I've been working in with him a little bit. I like to be straight out honest, but I I suppose I approached him because I liked them. So I did the initial approaching, and I got to know Dennis quite a bit actually over the last couple of years or more. And so he gave it to me probably, I don't know, he gave it to me at not the retail price. So let's say that. To show it off, see if I'm happy with it, and to show it off obviously to you guys in relation, to it and how it works. So I have, and I'll tell you what, going from what are those Kings single awnings where you got to roll them out and flap away in the wind and all that. This is like a godsend. This is like heaven. And you've seen me. I have videos on how this gets set up. I've got Fraser Island videos where I've got the walls up, and it's like a home from home. It's like your own little tent there, and I'm more than impressed by the Bushwhacker awning. Dennis has given me a discount code, Prado 150. So if you go onto Bullies Off-Road on their website and type in that discount code, he will give you a discount. Or ring him directly and tell him you know me, and you've seen me with the Bushwhacker awning on my video, and he'll well and truly look after you. He's a good bloke, Dennis. So yeah, that just comes out. It covers all the way around to the back. It's got the walls, like I said, and it's just like another big, huge tent with the walls. It gives you more room, blocks you from the wind. It actually gets a bit cozy under there. So you can, put your swag under, you can cook under there, you can be protected from the elements, and it certainly does. Without any dramas, it protects you from the elements. I've been in some pretty heavy rainfall and wind, fairly gusty wind. I think all awnings are. I think they've done their best to solve the problem, but I think most awnings, I'm not sure if anyone's actually completely solved it, but when it absolutely pours the rain and it kind of puddles in the middle and it just, like droops down, and then you go to pack it up and you forget and you get drenched with water. So they've come out with a bit of a design where you tie, you can tie it down and it creates a little thing where the water runs off, but it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. So let me know in the comments if you have an idea that stops that from happening. So other than that, it's awesome awning, accompanied by the walls, of course, as well. They call it the 30-second awning, and it is a 30-second awning. I can guarantee that. Pretty much zips out, comes around the back of the car. There's poles in there you can put up if you want, and you're done. You can be sitting under the awning, having a picnic on the beach or something with it. So the Prado, it's 2015. It's a last of the 3 litres. Absolutely love it. It is a diesel, the 3-litre diesel, and it's just running absolutely awesome. And as you know, I've just had the injectors changed, more of a safety thing, not that they necessarily needed to be done, but you read all about people breaking pistons and things happening and all that kind of stuff. But when they pulled mine out, they were actually in pretty good working order, my injectors. So I do my oil changes. On this trip it's a bit difficult, but normally without fail, every 5,000 Ks. And I have done one since I've been here. So the oil that's in there now is probably catching up, getting close to that 5,000, but I don't have anywhere to do it. So I think when you're doing the longer runs and the car's running and on the highways and that, it's important, but it's not as crucial if you're doing the highway drives all the time. Now while we're here, I'll just take you into here. So this is the Road Chef. You've seen me use that multiple times. It runs off that lithium battery. So I've run it without the car. You run it with the car without the car running. They're just some trays that I've got. I'll put my pies in there, quiches, sausage rolls. I've even cooked a roast in there. You can buy like meat, that kind of meat stuff you can buy that you heat up from all these, anything you can put in an oven. I've cooked it, chips, all that kind of stuff. Great for the road. Most things take 2 hours. So if you're putting in, like 4 pies, it'll take 2 hours to put in. And generally, and it runs for 2 hours. So when you hear the click, it's ready. it's great for on the road. You pull up and you know, start eating. You know, when things start to get ready, because the smell starts going through right through the car, so, and everyone else is getting hungry and can smell it. I do have a King's upright fridge. I've had that running 24/7, I reckon, for the last more than 12 months. So there you go. Got a few beers stocked up in there, and I think you can see there because of the sun. But there we go. So she's all stocked up. And I use this in conjunction with an angle fridge, which I'll show you, that's in the van, and absolutely loving that. There's been no issues with this thing. It's been running 24/7 since I've had it, pretty much. My boys, a bit of a project. They all got stuck in and put that in. There is a earlier video on that. Now there is some say this is that model that I've got. Some say it's actually got it's a Bushman's components in there. So. That could be, could not be. I think there's a video where someone does a comparison, but I won't say any more about that. But yeah, it's running like a dream. It's got a little freezer in the top there. I think I've got a bit of ice in there actually. So ice, chicken tenders, yeah. So chicken tenders, that's another thing you put in the Road Chef oven, and we whack them on some of those, what do you call it? Wraps, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. We put them in the wraps and put, you know, sauce on them. Now let me show you Kaon. Kaon has absolutely some phenomenal, awesome stuff for the Prado, and I'll just show you. So in here, I've got a shelf from Kaon. Okay, a shelf and a barrier. So there you can see that barrier back there. Okay, so you can put things onto that barrier. So I've got my first aid kit there. I've got a recovery kit there bag. If you can just see that, that's from DMW. It's got my snatch strap and a pulley and all sorts of things in there. If I move over to here, now Kaon do a superb table, okay, but I'm not replacing mine because that has a bit of sentimental value. So if Josh is watching, this one here he made for me, and he's done a perfect job. It's been probably going for a couple of years. Ruben's back. How you going, mate? And he's just done a great job there, so I'm just going to keep using it. Got these little things here to keep it going. So you know, particularly if you're out on a day trip or camping, you know, under the stars, it's a good table. You can cook on it, prepare on it, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so now as I'm looking, as you can see, I've got some treads in the back there, and I actually haven't used them yet, so I'm probably going to be using them over the next week or so. So that's going to be awesome. So that's the back of the car pretty much. Now I've got a couple of drawers. These are just top-notch kind of drawers. I mean, this is an XTM drawer, and that's a King's one. I'll tell you what, this is a far better quality than the other one. So this one, you know, stops there. So if you're parked on a hill or something, it doesn't fly forward. And they're just drawers, plenty of room. Put my stuff in. One side's got, you know, cooking stuff and utensils and cutlery and cups and all that kind of stuff. And the bottom one I've saved for, you know, tools there. Lots of lights for the awning. Just got a bit of my GoPro stuff, tool bag. I've got the iTech Welds jump starter in the back there. This Kui tool roll, I mean, that's pretty good. I use that. And just, you know, light, hammer, poles. I've got this for the 270 awning. So yeah, pretty much can live out of this Prado, which has been good. You'll see that some other videos. Now this is my cord for my pump. So I do have a King's thumper. It's got a twin pump on that, and again it's operating pretty cool. And it sits behind the seat. We've wired it in permanently, and I've just got the cord here, the lead. Probably need to readjust some of this stuff in here. It's a bit how you going, I suppose. But look, again, the boys have helped me out. We've got just a 12 volt system running there, and I use this to charge my batteries. And at the moment, it's just working fine. I can put anything in there. So it's pretty simple. It's just one of these things here, and yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't spent a lot of money on that side of things, but the only thing I'd like to probably put in the back as far as electrical goes is an inverter, you know, for the car, and have that permanently wired in there, because I'm loving the one in the caravan so much. So, all right, well, I just spotted Kim though here. He's just checking out my rope. What's wrong with my rope, mate? for the winch.
Yeah, just like to look at them before we use them and just see a bit of wear going on there. See, you've got yours quite fully tight, but
yeah, is that good?
Yeah, it's good just to check and make sure they're in good nick.
Is fully tight good, or you reckon I should loosen it out a bit, mate?
It's pretty tight, isn't it? You don't want to wobble around.
No.
That's still got a bit of.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Happy with that, mate?
Just noticing this, but it looks alright. But
might be just dirt, mate. Could be just dirt.
Wear there.
Bit of wear.
Want to make sure
it's been used, mate.
Want to make sure she's in tip-top nick when it's under load. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. You can replace those, eh? Just
you can actually. Yeah, you can. Yep. After looking at that, mate.
I was just having a go, seeing a bit of rust and all that, but it looks all pretty good. Yeah, pins in place.
It's been used, mate. It's been used.
Yeah, very nice. Yep.
Yeah, it gets used a lot actually. Yeah.
Quite a good winch, there, mate.
It is actually. I'm pretty impressed by it. It's got me out of trouble a few times. Tried to move a few trees with it and that, you know. So yeah.
Have you got the tree hugger on there as well?
I do. I've got everything, mate. Got it all sorted, mate.
Oh, very nice.
Got the DMW recovery kit, mate.
I've seen one of the videos. Get yourself out of bother with that thing there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
These Toyo tyres have surprised me actually.
They have they? Yeah, I was just talking about that, Kim. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
On the blower there, I was sitting again before, and I was wondering how long these will last, but they've actually really surprising the amount of driving you've done and terrain you've been doing, because you don't normally just drive on the beach or.
That's right.
More inland, aren't you? So more heavier rock terrain, mud terrain.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you find these going across? You've got different types of terrains.
Well, like I said just a moment ago, I'm absolutely impressed by them, and highly recommend them. They're a bit exy on the price, but sometimes you got to pay for good products, and I paid for them fully because these guys weren't interested in doing anything with me or anything like that. So, but I still bought them anyway.
Yeah, Toyo's a pretty good brand. I've used Toyos on a work vehicle. They seem to last quite a long time actually.
Yeah.
Quite a good brand.
Well, like I said, 82,000 on the last set on this car.
Really, that's good comments.
But the key point though I will say is rotating. Rotate your tyres every 5,000 k's. Yeah.
You just rotate the 4. You don't include the 5th.
Not now, because the last one I can only afford to buy 4 tyres. So I didn't buy. So I just use the best tyre for the spare at the moment. So because these are all new, But on the previous set, I rotated 5.
5, you find that a bit better, or 5?
I think so. I think I think so.
Yeah, nice. And how do you find with the mud with these? Because sometimes the mud does accumulate.
Clogs up.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. Yeah.
But it pops out again as you're driving.
Pretty much. Yeah. Because they're in between. They're not a muddy. They're RT, so they're in between.
Now, I like the outside here. You got this extra bit of tread on the outside, which is really good for.
A bit of rock climbing, mate. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. The other key thing you mentioned on the rocks, you said you'd let your tyres down.
For sure. Yeah, very important. Yep, very important to save getting punches on the sidewall.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Obviously very effective for you because it's worked for you.
That's right. No punches, mate. Well, so far I won't say that too early because we're in the middle of a trip here.
Yeah. And we go for a trip here on the sand.
We are, yes, sand and all sorts of terrain here we're doing. So
these tyres should go pretty well in the sand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tyre pressure's the key thing.
What do you set these down to?
Oh, my go-to's about 18 to start with, and then depending on the terrain, might go a bit lower than that. But generally 18, it's a one-stop 18, and away you go. Then I don't have to, I find that's just right.
It'll get you out of sticky situations.
Yeah. So. But anyway, I better just. Show the folks inside now, mate. So I'll just show you inside the car. There's not too much to show here. There's nothing here. We got the radar brake controller that works magic. It's pretty much set and forget as well. As I said before, I've got the iDrive there. So that there we go, just there. So that works a treat. I'm on about Ultimate 4 at the moment, and I find that's a good sweet spot for the Prado. And as I said, drag a few people off at the lights. Now I've got Hardcore, the battery management system there. I actually bought it from Autobarn, so Autobarn in Toowoomba, and they generally that's a great place. Great, awesome customer service, and they certainly look after me. And that's how come I kept going back when I first went into their store. Always say hello when you're going past. So I got the battery management system or monitor from them, and that's rigged up to the shunt under the bonnet. So as you see, 98.2%. There's nothing really going on here. There's a couple of cameras that I use. Everything else is pretty standard. Josh got me these, so they're pretty cool. And airbag went off with these in there and didn't cause any dramas whatsoever. Some people say they're not compliant with airbags, but I can show you proof that they didn't cause any dramas whatsoever. I've got the Oricom UHF radio there. Now, I've got a bit of a story to tell you about that. So, I probably mentioned it on other videos, but now that screen there that you can see, well, it used to freeze up on me, and you could adjust the volume, but you couldn't do anything else. So you couldn't change the channel or any of that kind of stuff. And you'd have to go into the bonnet, pull the fuse out, give it 30 seconds, put it back in, shut the whole system down. And most of the time it would reset, sometimes it wouldn't. Anyway, I ended up ringing Oricom, no receipt, no nothing. All I remember is I bought it from a four-drive show in Brisbane there. And they said, well, what's the serial number? I gave it to them. I told them what it was doing. Anyway, they said, yep, we'll fix you up. So they sent me out a brand new, not the handset, but the actual main part of it. They sent me one of those out, brand new. And I've obviously replaced it, and it's working a treat. Now, they were absolutely awesome. Like, no receipt, no nothing. Probably bought it 4 or 5 years ago, and they just, no questions asked, came to the party, and we swapped it out. So good on you, Oricom. That is sensational service, customer service for you doing that. I was very, very, very impressed by that. So let's move on. So yeah, nothing really going on here. It's just got the standard, you know, sound system thing there. One day I'll get it updated. Yeah, so nothing too flash in there. I have sheepskin covers for the seats. Don't have one for this one now because the other one, well, it tore itself apart when the side airbag went off from the Kangaroo. So that's a second-hand new seat, if you could, you know, call it that. And yeah, it's all working a treat. We're down to 2 of us now, Kim and I, so we're making the most of the back seat. Yeah, just got the beers, as everyone has, and nothing really happening again in the back. That's the K-on barrier, so that's where that sits at the back. First aid kit is sitting up here, and yeah, so the Prado, I like the Prado in the back here for, it's got all these air vents, so it's got 2 compressors for the air conditioning. So you can run them separately, different temperatures, so kids enjoy all fighting and mucking around with that kind of stuff. Now I've upgraded all the suspension. Now I will refer to Dan from Leviathan up in Toowoomba there on that. So what I need you to do is I will leave a link for that particular video in the description, because I'll go through in detail exactly what the suspension that I have in here. But I will say it is Dobinson's. It's a 2-inch lift. It's 400 kilo constant springs in the back, and I think it was 200 in the front, but don't quote me on that because honestly I can't remember. But it is performing absolutely awesome, and I'll go into the Jayco Crosstrak in a moment, but it is towing the Jayco Crosstrak really well. It sits perfectly level. I'm having no issues with it. The Jayco doesn't sway or anything like that, and you hardly wouldn't even know that the van is on the back. So I'll give you a quick look. Might be easier to see the front here. Just jump in the front here. So yeah, the Dobinsons. So all this is all new. Man, I've got to give this a bit of a washout. It was on the beach just the other day actually, so definitely need to get rid of all this. So yeah, as you can see, the Dobinson springs and the upper controller arm, and it has new lower control arms anyway. So a lot of that's been replaced, and as you know, I had an issue with the knuckle on the other side. So I've had quite a number of components replaced in the suspension area, but I'm really happy. It's just running a treat, and it's pretty good off-road as well, which we'll be doing some of that tomorrow, and we'll find out with the Jayco Crosstrak, in fact. Now the roof rack, would you believe it, I bought this from King's a long time ago, and what I like it's got the it's got this kind of stuff here, so it just keeps stuff in. I've got a solar panel mounted on the top, a hard one, and it fits my high left jack in there. It's got my treads on the back, and you know, it's just got that extra bit that goes up on there, which I like. And I know there's probably other types of or better roof racks out there, probably with better wind resistance or that kind of stuff. But look, at the moment, it's been a great roof rack, and I'm been pretty happy with it. It's pretty strong. It's not rusting out. People say these rust, but I must have got a good one because I've actually had no issues whatsoever. Probably, I can probably get lighter ones. I can probably get ones that are a bit more slimline. Yep, I can. Might save a bit of fuel on that, but hey, at the moment, why change it when it's doing its job and it's working a treat. So there you go. Got that from Kings long time ago. I keep losing my beer. I've got to go and find it. Keep leaving it on the bin. So if I leave it on the bin, it'll probably end up in the bin. There we go. Sorry guys, I'm standing in not a very good spot because the sun is probably right in my face. So let's go and have a look at the Jayco, and I'll quickly show you around. Well, as you can see behind me, we've got the Jayco Crosstrak. Now, I won't rehash all the details and information about it. I'm just going to give you a quick basic broad overview of it and just quickly show you around and make a few comments about it. So if you want to go into more detail, I've got a lot of videos there. Just go and check them out. For when we picked up the Jayco, all the specs on it, everything about it. So go and have a look and check that out. But I will say that as I said before, we've done about 6,000 k's now towing this van all the way from Toowoomba to Perth. We've done some massive trips down the bottom. We've been to Lucky Bay, back to Perth with it. Now we're back to Dunsborough. We're seeing some other stuff. So I am very, very impressed. So for the Prado, it tows really well. The wheel tracks are the same as the Prado. I probably could do with some mirrors, but I don't have to get any mirrors. It's been fine so far. So I've had comments from the rest of the crew. We're with the DMW crew, and they've been behind me making comments on how well that it tows. It seems to be evenly loaded with the water tanks and everything. I mean, of course we have them full. We've got 2 extra jerry cans on the front, 20 litres each, and they're full, which seems to be having no issues with that. And I just can't fault it at the moment. It's excellent. You know, we've got running water, we've got hot water. I can have a shower if I want to, which I tend not to do too much of, especially when we're in outback, because water's at a premium. It has that little kitchen around the side there, so I'll show you that. It's just, what can I say? It's just absolutely awesome. Toilet and shower, that makes also for a good camping experience, especially if you've got to get up in the middle of the night to go to the loo. So let's have a look. Let's have a quick look around, and I'll show you all the good features of it. So tucked away in here, I've got the iTech World's 3000 watt inverter. Now this is quite a special little gadget here because I don't have to have a changeover switch. It does everything. So if I rock up at a caravan park, say like we're at, except I'm not using the power here, but if I was to plug the power in, so I've got that off, it's turned off, we're not using the inverter at the moment, and I want to plug the power into here, I just plug it in. It senses that it's getting 240 volts from outside somewhere, some other source, and it shuts it off. So you can't make a mistake. You can't accidentally turn it on or put them both on at the same time. It works. It does it all for you. So that is a great little part of that. I did get obviously a professional electrician to wire that in, because it gets wired into the electrical system inside the van, obviously. But we've been running that, using that. I've run the heater actually a couple of times. Boils the kettle. I've cooked with it. It's just running a treat. It's got all its safety features on there, and I've got a battery monitor system inside the van. Once you put it in though, with the battery monitor system, the shunt is actually on the battery, so that's the one I have to go off, and I can't go off the Jayco one that they've already got, which is that projector, its own battery management system. It's too hard to explain, but it has an app on the phone. It tells you all about the battery, but you have to ignore that now because I've got my own little setup. At some point, I wouldn't mind. I will actually put in the iTech Well batteries. Okay, so let's just do that a little bit again. So at some point, I will be putting in the iTech Well batteries. So they'll be the 120 Pro into there, and I wouldn't mind actually putting in their DC-DC charger because I have had a few little issues with the projector one that's in there at the moment, flattening my battery. Should be able to pull up like we are now and leave everything connected with that's what the DC-DC charger should be working out, that the power's not coming on anymore from the main car, or the voltage is dropping, and it should shut it off, not keep trying to feed power through into there. We'll move on. So yeah, Jayco, here's its hot water system there. It's gas and electric, so you obviously when you're plugging into power you can run it on the electric. I've never tried running it on the inverter before. Not sure even what the power consumption is on that, but obviously when you're off grid you just use the gas, and it's been working awesome. One little trick though I just learnt the other day when I was watching some other people's reels, because all the kids, you turn the water on to brush your teeth, and you've only got it on a little bit with the water pump pumping the water through, and you're getting a lot of tapping, tap, 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 tap. Apparently that's not good for your water pump, I've heard. So you need to run your taps either on full ball or not, or nothing. That's the way to make them last longer, because there's a little electrical component in there that goes on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, and obviously the more times it goes off, the more wear, and they fail apparently. So someone devised this thing called, it's like a little airbag, I suppose. So it pressurizes, so the water goes in there and it pressures, so it's always got pressure on it, like a pump, like an air pump, and with a cylinder, and it keeps the pressure in there. So if you turn it on, it's still got pressure in that little canister area without the pump going on, off, on, off, on, off. Anyway, that was just a little side note for you. So folks, I've got Kim here. I think he's actually enjoying having the Jayco Crosstrak too. He's enjoying it, I think, as much as I am. I believe he keeps calling me, saying that I live in a palace. So look, I'll just go over and show you. Kim's just in the kitchen area at the moment, but sorry, go get that tongue twister. What we really like, particularly Shelley and I, about the Jayco Crosstrak is that it's got this outdoor kitchen area, and it's got this little bit that flap that comes up, so you are a little bit protected under the elements, and it's under the awning, which is great. So we love it. It's got storage up the top there. Takes a bit of organising. Leave that for Shelley to do. But it's got a little part at the bottom there, like a storage area where we put our pots and pans and a few other items. The top ones are plates and some food, cups, all that type of thing. So it's got a two cooker burner in there. I'll show you that in a second, and obviously a sink. We opted for the filtration system, filtered water, so that comes straight through into there. That's the extra tap there. And what I enjoy, coming from the swag situation, having to boil your water all the time to wash your dishes, well, now you can just turn the tap on and hey, magic, you got hot water coming through. So I know it's pretty simple, pretty basic, and people that have caravans go, oh, that's, yeah, of course, but someone like me, those little things that count and make the experience, doesn't it? So that's pretty much it. It is a pop top, so the roof goes up obviously for when you're setting up. It's very minimal setting up for rocking up to camp and getting into bed basically. So latches get undone and the roof goes up. But again, I've got plenty of videos on that stuff, so make sure you take a look and see how that's all set up. And that's probably about it. It's got a slide out fridge. We use the angle. So I've had this angle for a long time. you guys probably already know about angles. They just last forever. So that sits there. That's the slide out. So I think that's pretty much it. I'll take you inside in a minute and have a quick look at the Jayco. So just excuse all the junk. We're just sorting out some food stuff at the moment, but that's pretty much the kitchen area, the sink, everything there. Everything's up there, a bit messy at the moment, but you know, it's just the fellas on this trip. The fridge there, of course, what I just spoke about. And under here is where we store all the crockery. There's a kettle for the gas, the electric one. And of course this is for the, you know, for the coffee machine. And I've got a couple of power points here. If you've got a TV, there's an aerial socket there, and this is just a 12-volt socket there. So there you go. I've got a little light that comes on here. Pretty cool. Jayco would probably be best if you put a light in there that is has like the amber light as well that you can change it to. That would be great, because we normally have heaps and heaps of bugs that come in there. But anyway, that's only a minor matter. And we'll just step inside quickly. I think I've kept it pretty clean. Shelley should be proud of me. So here we go. That's the bed. I've got to say that it's a very comfy bed. I'm very happy with it, and it fits Shelley and I in there perfectly. And that's the iTech World's battery monitor system that I was talking about. So it's all charged up, and that's the iTech World remote for the 240 volt inverter, so you can just turn it on there. Plenty of storage space, especially if it's just two of you. When we got our kids, we kind of load her up a bit. So there, I've just got my clothes in there. Don't be looking in there. And yeah, just more storage in here. Things are popping out everywhere. So yeah, in there. Another one down there. They call that the, you got to be careful when you get out of bed. I'm getting used to it though, not to knock my head on that top there, but that's another bit of storage. They're the little things you pull down when you want to put the roof down. Got all this netting there, so we've just got a bit of food. There we added this Xeroca fan. Max at Twimmer there put that in, and there's another one around the corner. Plenty of air going through. Toilet and shower, it's all pretty cool. And the only thing I've noticed with Jayco's workmanship here is that one of these, this wall's coming out because you can push it back in. Well, I don't know what's going on here. The screws come loose here. I just used a bit of the old gaffer tape to see me through until it goes back for a bit of warranty work. But yeah, it's just kind of come all out of line from the bit of driving and stuff we've been doing, which we haven't really been doing anything too rough at the moment. It's got a vent there with the light, bit of hanging space. I just put my towel there, another net there to put some stuff in. And of course all the drawers, coffee machines in there. So there's plenty of for two people anyway, there's stacks of room for storage and that. And then you can put stuff under here. And under here is where some of the electrical stuff is, so they advise you not to store anything else under there. Just got, I've got Dan from the Firethon in Toowoomba there. He's just put 2 SIG sockets in there for me. So I think that's really about it. I've pretty much covered it. We got extra stuff in here because I brought stuff over for when Shelley and the kids and everyone were here, so they can't take it on the plane. So I've just got all that kind of stuff in there. But hey, storage wise, we had, what have we had? We had, I think it was 2 swags under there, 2 swags, stretcher beds, chairs. I've got the iTech World, the PS2000 power stations under there. I've got the blanket under there, the solar blanket. I've got some other stuff under there. There's plenty of room under that bed. You can access it from the bed, or you can access it from just outside there. Yeah, so talking about storage, I mean, you've nailed it, Jayco, with all the storage in here. Very, very impressive, and especially for 2 people. That's the thing there. We've got so much room for 2 people. And then there's what we call the moonlight. So I've got the vent open there that gives us a bit of breeze, and a Dometic reverse cycle air conditioner. Now that is very impressive as well, and runs off the inverter with no issues at all there. One more thing too I forgot is we've got a sink inside, so that's all. Everything's all kind of fallen over here because I've been a bit slack and not put things away properly. So yeah, so anyway, I need to sort myself out there, do a bit of better preparation. It just goes in there. That's what I just used to wipe the shower down when I've used it for a shower. And the other thing I got in here is the Van Connect. That's just been running 24/7 as well, and that's doing an absolute superb job. Another video on that as well, so check that one out too. And we'll just step inside quickly. I think I've kept it pretty clean. Shelley should be proud of me. So here we go. That's the bed. I've got to say that it's a very comfy bed. I'm very happy with it, and it fits Shelley and I in there perfectly. And that's the iTech World's battery monitor system that I was talking about. So it's all charged up, and that's the iTech World remote for the 240 volt inverter, so you can just turn it on there. Plenty of storage space, especially if it's just two of you. When we've got our kids, we kind of load her up a bit. So there, I've just got my clothes in there. Don't be looking in there. And yeah, just more storage in here. Things are popping out everywhere. So yeah, in there. Another one down there. They call that the, you've got to be careful when you get out of bed. I'm getting used to it though, not to knock my head on that top there, but that's another bit of storage. They're the little things you pull down when you want to put the roof down. Got all this netting there, so we've just got a bit of food. There we added this Zarocca fan. Max at Toowoomba there put that in, and there's another one around the corner. Plenty of air coming through. Toilet and shower, it's all pretty cool. And the only thing I've noticed with Jayco's workmanship here is that one of these, this wall's coming out because you can push it back in. Well, I don't know what's going on here. The screws come loose here. I just use a bit of the old gaffer tape to see me through until it goes back for a bit of warranty work. But yeah, it's just kind of come all out of line from the bit of driving and stuff we've been doing, which we haven't really been doing anything too rough at the moment. It's got a vent there with the light. Bit of hanging space. I just put my towel there, another net there to put some stuff in. And of course, all the drawers, coffee machines in there. So there's plenty of for two people anyway. There's stacks of room for storage and that. And then you can put stuff under here, and under here is where some of the electrical stuff is. So they advise you not to store anything else under there. Just got I've got Dan from Leviathan in in Toowoomba there. He's just put 2 SIG sockets in there for me. So I think that's really about it. I've pretty much covered it. We got extra stuff in here because I brought stuff over for when Shelley and the kids and everyone were here, so they can't take it on the plane. So I've just got all that kind of stuff in there. But hey, storage wise, we had we had I think it was 2 swags under there, 2 swags, stretcher beds. Chairs. I've got the iTech World, the PS2000 power stations under there. I've got the blanket under there, the solar blanket. I've got some other stuff under there. There's plenty of room under that bed. You can access it from the bed, or you can access it from just outside there. Yeah, so talking about storage, I mean, you've nailed it, Jayco, with all the storage in here. Very, very impressive, and especially for 2 people. That's the thing there. We've got so much room for 2 people. And then there's what we call the moonlight. So I've got the vent open there that gives us a bit of breeze, and a Dometic reverse cycle air conditioner. Now that is very impressive as well, and runs off the inverter with no issues at all there. One more thing too I forgot is we've got a sink inside, so everything's all kind of fallen over here because I've been a bit slack and not put things away properly. So yeah, so anyway, I need to sort myself out there, do a bit of better preparation. It just goes in there. That's what I just used to wipe the shower down when I've used it for a shower. And the other thing I got in here is the Van Connect. That's just been running 24/7 as well, and that's doing an absolute superb job. Another video on that as well, so check that one out too. Okay, we might get another beer out of here, mate. You want one? You want a beer?
Yeah, why not? You've got a bit organised. Stuff a bit for tomorrow morning. Coffee and brekkie.
Very good.
Departing at 8, so
awesome.
next time I have to wake you up.
So I'll get the coffee machine out. Just come over here, Kim. So this is...
Yep.
You probably met Kim. This is my bro, Kim. We've known each other for a few years, eh?
Yeah, a few years.
Probably since you were born.
Charge your phone there. I was just seeing how great access I've got straight from my swag to this lovely Prado.
I know you've worked it out well, and then the toilet's just behind us, aren't they? Well, I'm just here to kind of finish off this YouTube episode. So I was just explaining to everyone at home there our setup, like just the Prado and the Jayco, and you've seen it. What my setup is. I'm very happy with it. What would you call it? I'd say it's kind of, well, not budget, but it's something that everyone can do, really. I mean, what we've done, I haven't gone and spent a stack load of money for the Prado, would you say?
No, I noticed as well we had to go into town and drive busy traffic and roundabouts and changing lanes and so forth. The Prado's really towed it well, hasn't lacked any power, and you can quite easily change lanes, get around town as well with your caravan.
Park it up in Mum's front yard there.
Yeah, ideal. That was
Jervis, my stepdad, Jervis, he was pretty impressed by that. He didn't think I was going to do it.
Yeah, in the driveway, and you park your Prado at the front.
Yeah.
Your own little house there.
Yeah,
so how good's that?
Tell you what.
It's done well.
So guys, if you've got any questions or any comments to make sure you put them down below. If you've got any, as I said, if you've got any questions, put them in there. I'll get them answered for you. But that's the Prado 150. We're Prado 150 out of here.
I did hear we might be going off-road potentially with your Prado.
We are tomorrow, in fact, and the van in tow.
And the van
tomorrow.
Well.
So
how good's that?
I know. So it has been a little bit off-road, but this is certainly a time to test it off-road, see what I can do.
Yep.
I'm not going to do anything too crazy because it's got to get back to Toowoomba and Shelley still in one piece. So I've got to be mindful of that because it is our caravan. So.
At the end of the day, you're driving Toyota, aren't you?
Toyota's fine. Just look after the Jayco. Yeah.
It's quite impressive Jayco. I'm quite impressed.
You like that? Yeah. There you go. Kim's saying it all.
Yep,
and he's not getting paid to say it.
Sensational.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. And make sure you check out all of our other videos on all of that stuff because there's a lot more detail, obviously about the Prado and the Jayco, camping spots we've been to, and when we picked it up, all that kind of thing. So make sure you take a look. And thanks for watching. And like everybody else says, I might as well say it as well, make sure you like and subscribe.
And Prado 150 out of here.
Out of here. Out of here, yes.